Now, the whether cannabis or not is addictive is like an ongoing thing that scientists and researchers are constantly finding new information about. Where it stands is that it's not chemically addictive the way that drugs like cocaine or heroin or opioids are, but it can make you dependent to the feeling of being high.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, say that there's someone who's a stoner who gets high every day. If for whatever reason they have to stop tomorrow, it will make them uncomfortable because now the habit has changed. But it's not going to now. If you do the same thing for this book, I don't know if you've reached that far, but I spoke to a bunch of people who were ex-heroin addicts.
Yeah, I reached that. Yeah.
Who were, and for them, they need chemical intervention to actually get off their addiction.
Yeah.
They are puking everywhere. Their bodies are giving up on them. It is a real struggle to get sober and clean from that addiction. So to go back to what you were saying, anything you do too much of, I think a dependence builds. It's the same way. If I'm eating, I think of coffee a lot. When I'm in the US, wahan pe Americans, they drink just pure jet black coffee, no sugar.
Yeah, or is that Dunkin' Donut cup? Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
Or yahan pe, me growing up in India, coffee jo milti thi, but light coffee milti thi, In the beginning, I didn't like it. I didn't like the American style black coffee. Now, on like stressful days, I need a lot of black coffee sometimes, and it's a dependence. It's something that's it's happened to me because I started having it often enough to not be to not be affected by the weak mal anymore when it comes to the weak mal of the coffee. So I think it's the same thing, and I feel I feel moderation is really useful in everything.
Yeah, I've seen, this is very anecdotal, but I've seen that some people can handle their cannabis very well. Then there is this stupid trope that happens to the best of us when we first do it. Ki isse main aur creative banunga. And I think that's largely been disproven. Sure, you can have wild thoughts, but I don't see why that will make you more creative, especially when you have to do something intellectually demanding. Right? I don't, like, if you think that you're going to be a better artist because you're smoking and drawing high. It's proven that, I don't know if you write your books with that kind of discipline where you get high and then you write a book because you're going to be all over the place. The same as aap kitab padhne ki koshish kar rahe the fuke. Anyone who's smoked and tried to read something, it's practically impossible. You're trying to be productive on a drug that's supposed to take you elsewhere, right? So you also describe this feeling of resisting when you're getting high in India, experiencing this, resisting the high and then sort of letting loose. Did you encounter people who could really enjoy their trips?
Yeah. I've met people who have amazing trips.